The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Creating the Last Supper.
King Louis XII of France invaded Italy about a year before da Vinci started the project of creating a beautiful bronze statue. Because of the invasion, da Vinci was forced to discontinue his work. The King of Italy assigned da Vinci the task of creating the painting The Last Supper as compensation for losing a commission on which he had worked for 8 to 10 years during this time of war. Many people saw da Vinci as a failure who never finished a painting because of how he would spend many years on a single project only to not finish it. Because of this, he was desperate to gain his respect back through a work of fame, as he calls it. He finally achieved his goal with The Last Supper.
Background information. From 1495 to 1498, Leonardo da Vinci created The Last Supper in a church, Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Italy. Leonardo painted the mural using a gesso primer and a tempera, which is a fast-drying paint. He painted the mural directly onto the wall in the dining room of the magnificent church. The artwork depicts the reactions of the disciples just seconds after Jesus tells them that one disciple would betray him. It also shows Jesus' last meal with his disciples. Leonardo hadn't had experience with such a large painting canvas and the use of fresco paintings, so he experimented with other pigments to achieve a greater luminosity than the fresco method allowed for. However, those experimented pigments didn't result in the same image as the fresco paintings because da Vinci was constantly touching up the cracked, flaking paint. Symbols and detail.
The Last Supper has many symbols and details throughout this painting. The first is the spilled salt near Jesus' elbow, which symbolizes bad luck, loss of religion, or Jesus as the salt of the earth. The second is the food, which is eel or herring. In Italian, eel means arenga, which means indoctrinate or to teach a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. Herring means renga, which describes someone who denies religion. This highlights Jesus' prediction that his apostle Peter would deny him. This also symbolizes the first celebration of the Eucharist that Jesus shares with his apostles. Da Vinci uses the apostles as portraits of his old friends and contemporaries at the Milanese court. Tapestries in the painting are similar to those found in the Castle of Milan. The next detail is the sharp angling of the walls within the picture, which leads back to the seemingly distant back wall of the room, and the windows that show the hills and the sky beyond. The type of day shown through these windows adds to the feeling of serenity that rests in the center of the piece, which is surrounding the figure of Christ. The last detail, and probably the most important, is the use of the number 3, which also resembles the Holy Trinity. Da Vinci uses the apostles in groups of 3. There are also 3 windows in the background, and Jesus' figure represents a triangle, which is his depiction of the Holy Trinity as well.
Matthew 25, verses 35 to 36 says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. A stranger, and you welcomed me. Naked, and you clothed me. Ill, and you cared for me. In prison, and you visited me." This piece depicts Jesus sharing his last night before his death with the disciples, and he breaks bread and shares it with them. It's the first celebration of the Eucharist. This passage relates since Jesus is saying in these verses that we need to care for others just as he cares for us and shares himself with us. The verse and the mural are both a reminder of Jesus' love for us.